When foreign investors set up a company in Vietnam, most of the attention goes to licenses, approvals, and the company charter in Vietnam. But the document that truly protects your rights is often not filed with any authority. It is the Shareholders Agreement in Vietnam. This is the document that defines how power is exercised between investors. Without it, your investment structure may look complete, but your protection may be incomplete. A shareholders agreement in Vietnam is a private legal contract between investors that goes beyond Vietnam company charter requirements. While the company charter governs the company's public structure, the shareholders agreement governs the internal relationship between shareholders. It defines rights, obligations, and expectations that are not always visible in official documents but are critical for long-term control. Many foreign investors setting up a company in Vietnam assume that holding shares is enough to secure their position. However, under Vietnam business law, ownership alone does not guarantee protection. Without a properly drafted shareholders agreement in Vietnam, minority investors may lack safeguards, and majority investors may face unexpected limitations. This creates hidden legal risks for foreign investors in Vietnam that only become visible when disputes arise. The real power of a shareholders agreement in Vietnam lies in its clauses. Provisions such as reserved matters, voting thresholds, and approval rights determine how decisions are made. These clauses ensure that key actions such as capital increases, asset sales, or changes in management cannot be executed without your consent. Without these protections, control can shift even if your shareholding remains unchanged. For foreign investors in Vietnam, entering the market is only one part of the investment cycle. Exiting is where value is realized. A well-structured shareholders agreement in Vietnam includes clear exit mechanisms such as share transfer conditions, tag-along rights, drag-along rights, and valuation methods. These provisions ensure that you can exit your investment under predictable and enforceable terms. One of the most critical issues in Vietnam is the relationship between the company charter and the shareholders agreement. Many investors fail to align these documents. If the shareholders agreement in Vietnam conflicts with the company charter, enforcement becomes uncertain. In practice, authorities and third parties often rely on the charter, which means your private agreement may not fully protect you unless it is properly structured. There are real cases where foreign investors in Vietnam were unable to block major corporate decisions because reserved matters were not clearly defined. Others were forced to remain in investments because exit provisions were missing or unclear. These are not rare situations. They are common legal risks when setting up a company in Vietnam without a properly drafted shareholders agreement. A strong shareholders agreement in Vietnam should clearly define governance rights, investor protections, and dispute resolution mechanisms. It should address dividend policies, capital contribution obligations, and share transfer procedures. It should also reflect the commercial understanding between investors while remaining consistent with Vietnam company charter requirements. Most importantly, it should be enforceable in practice, not just in theory. At LTS Law, we provide legal services for foreign investors in Vietnam with a focus on drafting and reviewing shareholders agreements that are both compliant and strategic. Our team understands how corporate governance works in Vietnam and ensures that your agreement aligns with your investment structure. We do not rely on generic templates. We build tailored legal solutions designed to protect your control. Setting up a company in Vietnam is not just about registration. It is about building a legal framework that protects your investment over time. Before committing capital, ensure that your shareholders agreement in Vietnam clearly defines your rights and safeguards your position. Visit lts.com.vn and consult with our legal team to ensure your investment is structured for long-term security and success.